Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Listen, I'm really glad to have you guys here. Now, I want to talk about Max Kaiser, and I'm also going to talk about the Bitcoin time time traveler. So let's get started. Let's open up the charts right here, and let's take a look here at Bitcoin today. What's it doing? $246.7 billion market cap. Bitcoin dominance is 67.4%. And what we're looking at is a price of Bitcoin at $92.21 today. Ethereum is $182. Bitcoin Cash is $288. Litecoin is $58.27. Binance Coin is $20.02. And EOS is $3.29. And Bitcoin SV is $129. And Stellar is, was it 6.9 cents? Anyway, let's talk about Max Kaiser. Max has said that China is going to open the trap door and end the United States dollar. He says they're going to do it in two ways. The Chinese, he says, are going to release a crypto-backed currency, Chinese currency, that is pegged to gold, and that they are going to announce 20,000 tons of gold in their inventory of China. I don't doubt they have 20,000 tons of gold. And it's taken them a heck of a long time to accumulate that much gold. 20,000 tons. Just let that go through your brain for a minute. You know? Like 1,000 tons of gold. But they got 20 times that. I mean, that's unbelievable amount of gold. Now, is there validity and truth to what he says? I think yes. I think he does have sources. And I think he has heard that the Chinese have this plan. And I believe that the Chinese do have this plan. I really do. But the big question mark is, will they hold this plan in reserve to be their ultimate dollar destroyer? Or will they use this right away? Or will they hold it in reserve to try to get a better deal in the trade talks? This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the Chinese are going to hold this in reserve as their big tool, monster tool. They're going to hold it in reserve, I think. Now, this is my opinion only. I think that Max Kaiser got wind of this because the Chinese do have this plan. I believe the plan's real. But the big question mark in my mind is, when will they use it? Or if they get everything goes their way, maybe they won't even use it. That's the big thing for me, is when are they going to use this plan? I don't doubt that they have the plan, but when are they going to use it as an effective tool to take out the dollar? That's my big question mark. So I'm waiting and seeing. I've heard what Max Kaiser has to say. I think it's real. But when's it going to happen? That's what I'm concerned with. When's it going to happen? Let's move on. Let's take a look now at the famous or infamous Bitcoin time traveler. Turns out the guy's real. Wasn't a time traveler. He's really here with all of us. And he's a Bitcoin bear. And maybe that's the reason why he originally wrote that post about how Bitcoin into the future is going to become so big and everything, and how, maybe it's the reason is that he wanted to get us all scared of it. It says here, Bitcoin's infamous supposed time traveler, who first predicted that Bitcoin would dominate the world's future in a Reddit post in 2013, has resurfaced to update the original prediction. Rather than praising the benefits of Bitcoin, the user revealed himself to be a Bitcoin bear, and he criticizes the currency for for its negative ecological impact. His name is Luca Magnotta, and he claimed he was from a dystopian future where Bitcoin's increasing influence had managed to wreck both financial and the social landscape. Now, I did posts on this guy. I did shows on this guy. In the past, I did, think, 2, maybe 3 shows on this guy. And I always said that I didn't think he was actually a time traveler. I said that I thought he was an insider. I'm still not sure if he's an insider or not. But that's what I thought at the time, that he was an insider, that he must have inside information because his predictions came true so often about, and you know what's funny about this whole story is, ultimately in the end, his whole prediction might end up coming true. Even though he's not a time traveler, you know? One of his predictions was about the dollar. He says here on his post, his original post, he says, from here onwards, talking about Bitcoin, he says there is no good way of expressing its value in dollars, as the dollar is no longer used, nor any other central bank issued currency for that matter. There are two main forms of wealth in today's world. He's talking about the future. Land and cryptocurrency. You know, his predictions might uncannily, if I'm using the word correctly, come true. It might be uncanny. That's the word I'm looking for. It might be uncanny the way his predictions made way back in 2013 come true in our future, in the very near future. Because we see what's happening. The central banks are in a race to the bottom now with the fiat currencies. And this is unstoppable because the banking system, as these banks start to roll over, the central bank recapitalizes them. And what that basically does is it turns these banks into what's called a zombie bank. And after they recapitalize them, they just have to keep adding to it more and more and more fiat money, and creating more and more fiat money. Now, we got a situation that's happening right now within the financial system where I believe they are recapitalizing at least one, if not maybe more banks, and this is called the repo market problem. You've all heard about it, the repo market, what's going on in the repo market. I think the real truth behind the matter is the Fed right now is secretly recapitalizing one or more failed institutions, that if they had announced that these institutions were failed, the entire financial system would have collapsed on the announcement. But I think they had to keep it secret, and I think they're recapitalizing the banks with this repo money that they're injecting into the market right now. I think it's actually a bank recapitalization. I think we're already in crisis right now, and the Fed is in crisis mode. You know? And what this shows us is as the Fed recapitalizes these banks turn into an institution that's only able to keep itself up and running, not from making profits or anything like that, but from being recapitalized by the central bank. Never forget that the central banks can produce as much money as there are leaves on the trees out there. And if they do that, what's the money worth? If there's more money out there than there are leaves on the trees, what's the money worth in the end? Absolutely nothing. This is rocket fuel for cryptocurrencies to come in there and offer themselves as a store of value rather than fiat. And this is going to go on, it's going to grow, and this is what's going to be the driver behind these cryptocurrencies. And ultimately, in the end, his prophecies from way back in 2013 might all end up coming true. You know? What I say is be careful what you wish for. Because a world that's dominated by only cryptocurrencies as being the main store of value is going to be a dystopic type world. And I think this is where we're headed. Of course, yeah, the people that hold cryptocurrencies right now, I mean, we're talking about a whole new set of early adopters. You remember what they call the early adopters in cryptocurrencies? The guys that got in around 2010 or 2011 and bought up a whole bunch of cryptocurrency. They call them early adopters. Well, guess what, guys? I'm in here to tell you a secret. The big secret is even if you bought this year, you're an early adopter compared to where this thing's going. You're an early adopter too. If you've got more than 1/100th of a Bitcoin, you're an early adopter in my mind, you know? And ultimately, that's what his prophecy from 2013 related to. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. We'll catch you in the next show. Bye-bye.